Hello, Mike. How are you? Nice to see you.
Hello, how are you? Good, yeah, I'm fine at home, but yeah, good.
Yes, I bet you're at home. So tell me, how is your daily life being so far in this quarantine time?
Yeah, in the start was hard to find a rhythm because obviously normally you go out, you make something, you have your ritual with the children when I am at home, but when the school start to be closed, you start also to be the teacher with your children, and in the start yeah, it was hard because yeah, you don't know how to manage. And after we start to have a ritual, and now yeah, the morning we wake up, we make breakfast, we start to teach until 12. After we go eat. After we try to play a little, and in the afternoon and or the evening, I start to make my sport every day. And yeah, for the moment, I have this routine, and it's looking good.
And tell me a little bit about your training sessions at home, because I don't know if it has changed a lot. You had to adapt yourself with what you had at home to keep in shape. So tell me a little bit about that.
And normally, I like to go out to make some bicycle, and normally I did one day bicycling, one day training home with exercise. And when I saw that we will be staying home, I start to look internet to find a home trainer, and I was waiting him like 2 weeks because normally it's quite fast, but with quarantine time, it was more the time was more long to have it. But yeah, I start to run a little because in France you can run 1 kilometer out of the house. I was doing some laps everywhere.
Okay, Mike, let's talk a little bit about the MotoE, because though it's going to be the second season, it's still quite an unknown category. So let's try to help people to understand it a little bit more. So first of all, it's going to be your second season also. Tell me, why did you decide to accept the challenge to compete on this new category on the MotoE?
Uh, First time when I heard, I say, okay, I don't know what is it, and nobody called me, but I was surprised about this new category, and I didn't expect. I know that some rider was starting to call, and I was quite afraid to go somewhere. And I know the world championship that many. I know when I was there that if you are a good rider, you don't need to to give budget, and if you want to come, you need to come budget. I say doesn't matter. I was doing my new life with endurance, and it's looking good. And when Alzamora called me and about this project with Joan Olive, I say with the 23 on the Mark Vidies team, I say, oh yeah, this one can be very interesting because Mark Vidies team is a team that I know from Moto2, that I was really dreaming to go there. And I say, okay, this can be very interesting for me because okay, I don't know nothing about this bike, but at the end, sure, it will be a normal bike because if you bring something with two tire, at the end you want to be the first, and you try to find how to use these two wheels and to go as fast as you can. And I say, let's see what it will be, and it was very nice first time.
And what would you say is the main difference between the Moto E and the other bikes you had ridden until that point?
The big difference is the nose, because with a normal bike, you can earn with the engine if you're fast or not. Also, when you start to slide, you earn the RPM. With this bike, is like you take out something like a sense, and you don't see like some the people don't see and need to find other way to know where they are. And us, it was many years we ride like this with the nose, and they take out something, and we need to have more sensation about the rear tire slide, also to feel with the speed ice if you are faster or not. You just need to adapt after it's a bike. Apart the nose for me was the big difference. After it's when before to go to the first time I was I didn't know where I go, and some people say sure the total will be very aggressive, the weight will be a lot. Sure, when you see the weight is 260 or 70 kilo, it's a lot, But in endurance, with the full tank, I think we are around 230 to 40 kilo. It's not so far. But sure, MotoGP, when I was in MotoGP, was 157 with no fuel. We are much far from this. But at the end, it's okay, let's see. And when I go out, first time I remember in GS, after 2 corners, I said, wow, it's a bike. And I was not feeling the weight. And the total was very smooth. And I say, oh, it's nice. Just after some laps, I start to understand. I say, it's not a lot of power like we were expected. And I need to ride not like a big bike, but more like small bike to keep speed. And the tire from Michelin is very good for that because we can lean a lot in the corner and we can keep the speed that because the bike is heavy and the power is not enough for the moment, we can keep the speed for make a good lap time.
You have competed in all the categories in the MotoGP World Championship. Could you tell me the main characteristic of each one, of course, including MotoE, so Moto 125, where you won the championship, then 250, then MotoGP, and then the MotoE?
Yeah, Moto3 I didn't know, but 125, what it was nice is the speed corner. You need to brake very late, keep speed. The bike is very, and you don't feel the weight. It was very nice. 250, it was for me is the best category I did in my life because it's like 125 but with a lot of more power, and you need to ride like a big bike. When after I go to MotoGP or endurance, it was more riding like 250. After we go Moto2, and when we go Moto2, for me was hard because it's like I come back 125. You need to keep speed. And we start with the 4-stroke, and I make all my career before with 2-stroke, and this moment was quite hard. But the Moto2 at the end is when you start to understand well to use a 4-stroke engine. The good thing of this category is all rider have the same engine, and you just need to focus well on your suspension, with your mechanic. This one was nice. MotoGP, it's the best thing is the power of the engine. When I was with the Ducati, was incredible. I remember a very good moment about that. It's and very physically bike because many riders complain of 1000 bike, normal bike, and I always say you see the gap about 600 and 1000 bike, but MotoGP is more of that. And really? Yeah, I say, yeah, the gap about 600 and 1000 is more when you go on MotoGP. It's like Formula One. It's the best of the bikes that you can find. And Moto Endurance is like a mix of big power and Moto2. You need to ride in the middle because some corner you need to cut like MotoGP. Some other one you need to keep speed because the bike is not enough power. And MotoE, what I like a lot is about the lean angle because it's like 125. You can put a lot of speed in the corner, a lot of lean angle. And I am a rider that I lean a lot inside the corner, and I like that in Moto2, in MotoE.
And it's going to be the second season, and it's a very young competition for the moment. But do you think that in not a very far future, we can think about having much more races, maybe even the same calendar as the MotoGP World Championship?
I think it's the objective of the MotoE. They start with a small championship because they want to see if the people like this new category, and also to don't put pressure of the engineer and everything, that step by step they want to improve. They introduce a lot of improvement compared of last year about power, about the suspension, but battery. We have to keep the battery more long time, and they want to improve like that step by step. And I think I hope in some 5-6 years to have a longer championship.
And just to finish, we are just getting to the end, but making a little trip around your career, which has been pretty long, Do you have any special moment, if you had to choose one that you have lived, or I don't know, what would you point out those special moments all along your career?
Special moment in my career. The special moment in my career, I think, was in Le Mans, 2008, when I won there, because it was 28 years that the French rider didn't win the French GP, and was very, very nice to hear all the public singing the Marseillaise, and yeah, it was, for me, is one best moment of my career.
And
Or
also,
to win the second one, and it was to win also in Australia. My title, because it was my favorite track, and normally I am always fast on this track, and was nice, these two moments.
and Mike, just to finish, last one, promise. If you could choose a perfect place to drink an Estrella Galicia 00, which one would be for you this place?
On my hospitality, it means that we start again the racing.
That's cool. Those would be really, really good news. Okay, Mike, thanks a lot for your time. It has been a pleasure chatting with you, and I hope to be able to see you soon in track, especially riding your MotoE bike. Thanks a lot.
Our Estrella Galicia 00.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.